this episode, we are in Tasmania, where some of the world's best whiskies are currently being produced. Later, I'll be heading to Hobart Whisky, but first up, I'm visiting Western Tiers Distillery. I'm Aleisha, and this is the Cellar Door. Located just 30 minutes from Launceston, we're headed to the typically quaint Tasmanian town of Westbury. Here, you'll find one of Australia's newest distilleries, the award-winning Western Tiers. I've heard about their state-of-the-art approach to modern distilling, and today I'm spending some time with co-owner Tim Freeman to get to know more. I can't wait.
Tim, thanks so much for having us here. I'm excited very much to learn about whiskey and to try some whiskey today.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about where we're standing and how we came to be?
Yep, well, we're at Western Tiers Distillery, at the foothills of the Great Western Tiers. Yep, so a little town of Westbury in the Meander Valley Council. Yep, so we're here to make whiskey and gin and a few other white spirits.
Fantastic. So yeah, white spirits. Now when I think about whiskey, I don't think about, well, clear liquid. I think about a brown texture. Tell me a little bit about how this is different from what I'm thinking of.
Yep, so one of our spirits is Hot Sheen, which is an Irish moonshine. And that's basically just our whiskey before it's whiskey. So it's our new baked whiskey. And it was so good that we just had to put it in a bottle.
Great. And what's the difference in taste-wise? I know we'll probably taste it, but I mean, tell me about the process of working with this sort of...
With this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, when we first made it, it was a beautiful malty, sweet, not harsh, because we triple distill here with the Irish style whiskey. Yep, so it's not harsh, it's just a beautiful tasting, clean spirit.
When we're thinking about whiskey, tell me about the process like drinking and tasting whiskey. It's always, you hear many different opinions.
It's a whole different art by itself. It's one thing making the stuff, there's another thing tasting it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And whiskey seems to be someone everyone knows a lot about, but I'm doubtful they really do.
There's a fair art in how to taste a whiskey, how to assess it, how to really taste it and get to the background of what is really inside a whiskey.
So after today, I'm going to bone up, we're going to learn all the terminology, so when next I'm pretending to know about alcohol, I'm really going to know about it.
You'll be stepped right up.
Whiskey expert.
Exactly right.
Sounds classy.
Yep,
I like it.
Western Tiers don't just double distill their whiskies, they triple distill them.
Can you explain to me the uniqueness of the triple distill?
Yep, well, there's two reasons why we triple distill here. A, Westbury's got an Irish heritage, so Irish whiskey...
I do too.
Do you?
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go, that's really good.
You fit right in.
Thank you very much. I'm at home with my people, many generations before.
Yep, okay. Yep, so you're spot on Irish whiskey then.
Thank you. Good.
Yep, so, triple distill. So there's another bonus of that, we actually get to have 3 stills instead of 2. So most Scottish and Tasmanian and Australian whiskey is all just double distilled. Yeah, we just do it 3 times. Because 3 times is better than 2.
Now we're talking.
Tim, I think to truly understand the process, I should try some whiskey.
I think you should. Here is our
thank you.
a little sample which is coming straight off the still.
Whoa.
Yes, so this is, like I said, it's about 80-odd%.
Yes.
So it is reasonably potent.
I shan't be driving home today.
No, definitely not. Yep. So if you have a bit of a smell.
Yes. Oh, it's almost fruity.
Yes, very malty, very
malty.
Yes.
Heady.
Still sweet.
It's almost like I like a margarita, and it does smell like the top notes of a margarita, which is not what you want to hear, I suppose.
Not what we're actually aiming for, but anyway.
No, it's that really high, peaky, well, it's a high alcohol, isn't it?
It's
very... Yeah. We just sipping this one, I'm guessing?
It does warm the cockles of your heart, doesn't it?
Is it warm?
Yes.
No, it's pretty strong.
Yes, but again...
But the flavour's nice.
Yes, yeah, the flavour's there, it's still What we were actually worried about with the triple distillation was losing some of the oils in the real heart of the whiskey, which Tasmania is very famous for. Yeah, but we've managed to keep that still intact. So it is still a beautiful mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't triple distilled and we tasted this, probably not as easy to drink, I'm imagining.
Yeah, a little bit harsher on the on the
Because
palate.
for the strength of that, I swallowed, still maintained my decorum, and it was tasty as well.
Yep. Yes. No, it is, like I said, that's why we actually made the Irish moonshine, because it was too good not to put out there.
And so compared to the brown whiskies, the flavours, what would we have tasted if we were drinking a brown whisky over this sort of...
Over a fully matured whiskey?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, again, 70% of the whiskey flavour actually does come from a barrel.
Yep.
So, all said and done, we actually just get this part right, then it's very easy for the cask to do its business. If we get this part wrong, then the cask has to do a lot of work to get it to make a good whiskey.
So let's talk about the barrelling then. After this process, how long are they staying in the barrels?
Yep, so in Australia it's got to be a minimum of 2 years before it's actually called whiskey. And yeah, we're about 6 months off having matured whiskey so far.
That's pretty exciting.
It is going to be an exciting time next year. Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yep, so like I said, all the colour and most of the flavour actually does come out of the barrel.
So should we have a look at the barrels and you can talk me through some of the flavours and the different processes of...
and different types of barrels.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different world again.
Well, let's learn.
That's good. Okay.
Shall I keep this?
You can keep it as well.
After the break, barrels. You're watching the Cellar Door Australia. Yes, I know I promised some barrel action, but before we get there, time for a quick gin with Tim.
Tim, while the whiskey is doing its thing, I believe you make some other products as well.
So I make a few gins and our Irish moonshine, which we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Yep, so we'll start with our Dry's Bluff gin.
Great.
So all our products are named after the places on the Great Western Tiers. Yep, so this one is a cocktail type gin, so it's not too bold, not too overpowering, but yeah.
And when you say not too bold, this is something I could mix, as you said, in a cocktail.
Exactly right. Beautiful martini, that type of deal. So
Lovely.
Yeah.
Very fragrant.
Very fragrant on the nose, nothing too overpowering. Yeah, and just a very well balanced. Yeah.
Very fragrant.
Yes. Very full flavoured. Yes, fresh, crisp. Yeah.
Nice botanicals.
Yes, nice citrus notes. Yep.
So, and how long does it take to make gin for you?
Yep. So, we make it one day. We normally let it sit for 1 week or 2 weeks to let all the botanicals and all their flavours merge together. Yeah, then we bottle it after that. So, all done. Yeah, within 2 weeks you can have it on the shelf ready to sell.
Handy.
Yes, very
and
handy.
delicious.
A lot better than whiskey.
Ah, yes, whiskey. Back to the barrel room.
Tim, this looks like the future of the company.
It is. This is where the good part is.
Yeah.
So we've got a small selection of barrels here. Most of our storage is off-site, so it's sort of separated, so if something goes wrong, we don't lose everything.
Sure.
Which is a great thing.
So where does the wood come from? Because from what I know, it's very important, the type of wood.
It's very, very important. So most of it's either French oak or European oak or American oak for the bourbon barrels normally. Yeah. So those all come from other parts of the world.
So I suppose you had to do a bit of travelling.
We are very lucky in Tasmania. We have 3 or 4 very good cooperages in Tasmania, so we actually just buy all our barrels from them.
And a cooperage, they produce the wood? Is that right?
So cooperages actually recondition the wood.
Right.
Yep. So again, a very, very important part of making great whiskey is a great cooper. So to start with, the cooper will actually get a barrel and they'll pull it apart and it'll look like this to start with. So you'll actually see that's in by 2 or 3 mil. That's actually the colour and the flavour which has come from what was in the barrel before. So I think this was an old sherry cask. So what they do to start with, they pull it apart, they have a good look, make sure it's all as it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Then they actually shave it down. So they'll only end up with a very small layer of the remnants of the glass liquid that was in there.
Right.
Yep, otherwise, if it's left like that, it will just way overpower our beautiful spirit.
So this would be a big, strong flavour.
That'd be a huge, yeah.
Too much.
Way too much.
Right.
Especially for our fine, delicate spirit.
Yep, understood.
Yep, so they shave it down. Then the next part, they actually char the barrel,
Right.
which is this one. So they'll actually get the barrel, they'll splay it out, like an octopus looking thing.
Yep.
And they'll put a fire inside it, and char the barrel to look like that.
Right.
And again, you can get different types of char to suit your spirit.
Sure.
So another part of the trick is we've got a light spirit, so we go for a light char. If you've got a dirty spirit, you want to go with a heavier char to get more of that volatiles and the parts you don't want in your whiskey to be dragged out. So it's just
Right.
like a filter, that's all it is.
So if I'm drinking a smoky whiskey, is it
Smoky,
coming?
No.
No?
Smoky whiskey actually comes right from the very...
Right.
Yes. So you actually your malted barley is actually smoked in that process.
Early on.
Yeah, that comes way back there.
Fine, makes sense.
Yep.
Opening its doors in 2021, Western Tiers Distillery can be found nestled among the rich farmlands at the foot of the majestic Great Western Tiers. Its rugged and pristine landscape is the perfect spot for a whisky distillery. Not to mention gin. Not to mention gin.
All right, what's the next
Yep, so
flavour?
next one, we actually wanted to make it a beautiful sipping gin.
Great.
So a bit more full flavoured, a bit more of a punch. This one's got 3 Tasmanian native botanicals in there,
Oh, nice.
and one a little bit special.
Nell's Bluff.
Nell's Bluff.
Another bluff around
Another
here.
bluff. So this bluff is actually the highest point on the Great Western Tiers, and is situated a bit north of here,
Right.
above Deloraine.
Nice. A little smell. Oh, right.
Yes, it's
quite
got
different.
something going on. Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Oh, so smooth.
Yep.
See what you mean?
Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep. So again, we had one gin for before tea for a couple of cocktails. Then have tea, sit back in the chair, relax,
Move on
nice
to the
open
next
fire, and a beautiful sipping gin.
I like a progressive gin night.
It's right. It's right.
It's my sort of night.
Yep.
So the flavours in this, as you said, it's smoother, not meant for mixing.
No.
And the botanicals get sourced locally. Can you tell me a little bit more about them?
Yep. So some beautiful Tasmanian pepperberries, which are actually picked from Mark, our other owner. He lives up on the Great Western Tiers. Yep. So we actually go out in front of his place and shake the tree and get the pepperberries off it.
I love it.
Yes. And a couple other special ones that, a little bit special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret spice.
It's secret
I
spice.
feel like a little bit special is like,
Yes.
don't ask me any more questions.
Don't ask me.
Secret.
Yes. That's it.
Right.
Just like you never ask a butcher what's gone into his sausages, I've learned you never ask a distiller what's gone into his gin. Back to the barrel hall now to sample some whiskey straight from the source.
Oh, different smell now.
Yes.
Changed.
Again, it's amazing how much they do change
Yeah.
over
Consider.
3 or 4 months.
Yeah. Well, so what's this? This has gone in.
Yeah, a bit over 10 months old,
Yeah,
12
right.
months.
So the specific to this, it's a port barrel.
Yeah, port barrel.
So this has had all of this happen to it.
Yep.
How is this going to be different to the share? Like
Sherry.
the flavours and
yeah,
things?
sherry's
What
more
notes?
richer.
Sweeter.
Yes, a bit sweeter. Yeah, with ports. Yeah, I actually prefer a sherry
Do you?
over a port, but yeah.
All right. Oh. Okay, less
Yes.
warm,
Yep.
more flavour. The whiskey flavour, I would say. Oh yeah, whiskey.
Yeah, now it's actually
It's got those
truly
notes.
becoming whiskey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Still very smooth.
Yes.
Very easy to
It is.
drink.
Again, this is about 63%
Okay.
somewhere, so it is, yeah,
And
definitely up
after
there.
the 2 years, what's the percentage going to be?
We actually test it and actually find out what the best percentage is to when we actually go to bottle.
Right.
The whiskey will tell us what it wants to be.
Yeah.
Yep, so we'll test it. We'll try it at 50%, we'll try it at 47, 45. It'll be somewhere between 45 and 50.
So it's still got a little bit to go. But I mean, yeah, it's a very smooth drink for when you say over 60%.
Yes.
Wouldn't be what I expect to be able to just drink it happily.
Yes.
And happily I am. Tim, it was delicious to try the barrelled whiskey, but they need a little bit more time.
Yes.
Should we go and maybe do a tasting of some of your other products?
Yep, sounds great.
Love it. Let's
Okay,
go.
Let's
Cool.
go.
Today, I've been spending some time with Tim at Western Tiers Distillery, known for their quality spirits, each one uniquely named after a prominent landmark that surrounds the distillery. I'm back at the bar with Tim, and we're about to try their Quamby Bluff Slow Gin, named after a nearby mountain peak, much easier to drink than it is to hike.
I'm excited about this one.
Yes.
Got a taste for a slow gin.
A little bit different to most. Most of our products aren't quite as sweet as what some are. So
Slow gin's really coming up in Australia now.
it's starting to take
having
off.
a moment.
It's been big in Europe all the
Yeah.
time, and it's starting to take off in Australia as well, which is great.
Now, we were talking a little bit off camera before about when you try the actual berry,
By itself, you probably wouldn't go for the second one.
they're not something you'd,
Yeah, go for the second one ever.
but then you put them with alcohol.
Yes. Yeah,
Great
pretty much.
combination.
So all we do is we make a very plain base gin. Yeah, we put the slow berries in, we let it sit for 12 months or a bit more, then away we go.
So for people that have never heard of slow, how would I drink this normally?
Yeah, a bit of champagne is sparkling champagne, or just soda water. If you like it a little bit sweeter, lemonade.
Or just like this?
Yeah, or
I don't mind. This is
it's nice, isn't it?
this is nice.
Yes.
Would you put it with a bit of ice?
Yes, a couple of box fires. Yep, and again after dinner, beautiful drink.
And it's good because it's not too sweet. Because I think I've had slow gin that can be quite like.
Yeah, you sort of have half a glass and that's enough.
And yeah.
Where this is, we try to dial it back a bit on the sweetness, so
Yep.
it's a nice balanced drink.
Yeah, it's really drinkable. Can I go for a second taste?
Yes, certainly.
Is that
can.
allowed?
It is alright.
I reckon it's probably good market research.
There's no job not worth doing well, including gin tasting. And now for something completely different. Irish moonshine.
Now this is we were talking about this earlier. This is the product that.
Yep, so that's our whiskey before us whiskey. So again, this is brought down to 46%, so it's a bit more, only about half as strong as what you tasted before.
And this is prepared a lot quicker than what the conventional.
Yes, so again, we distill it one day and we can bottle it the next.
Right.
Poitín is an ancient Irish spirit that can be traced back to the 6th century and considered by some to be the forerunner of whiskey. Poitín is now making a significant comeback, and Western Tiers Distillery is one of the few producers in Australia who make it.
Oh yeah, I mean it's got a.
Yep,
But still very pleasant.
yep. Yeah, and we say moonshine, but people get a bit shy when you say moonshine. I think it's going to be a rocket fuel, but
No,
it's
certainly not rocket fuel. It's got a lot of flavour.
yeah,
Again, really smooth.
yes. Yeah, that's back to our triple distill and our beautiful stills, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim, when I think about whiskey, I don't necessarily think about this sort of stuff. What is this?
Yep. So we've got a control system here, a complete PLC system, which controls every part of our process. So it fills things, it cleans things, also done just makes life very easy for our distiller.
Did you develop this?
So it's another part of the Western Tiers story is that we've actually, everything from the front gate to the back gate, we've actually made, which is part of the Still Smiths Tasmania.
Wow.
So we actually make all the distills, control systems, pipe work, all the electronics, everything we do.
So I'm guessing if you want to purchase one of these, you might be the man to talk to.
Give us a call.
I could start a little backyard distillery with this.
With this. Yep.
I might leave it to the experts. Experts like Tim, who know a little bit more than most about distilling.
Now, I'm very new to the whiskey making process, so can you start from the beginning, layman's terms here for moi?
Yep.
What happens? How is it made?
Yep. So whiskey's fantastic. There's only 3 ingredients, which is great. So
Good.
we've got malted barley, which starts like this. We have water and yeast. That's all we put in.
Very simple.
It is as simple as you get.
Now, why can't we all just do this at home?
Well, when you look around, that's probably a good reason why.
Yes. It starts with this, then what happens?
Yep, so we start with, got a grain silo outside with malted barley in that. It goes from there into a roll mill, which is on the other side of a wall.
Okay.
So that's a little bit noisy, so we keep that outside. And that turns it into grist. So that grist gets mixed with water in a mash tun right behind us there. So we just make a big porridge, all we do. And that's hot water and grist. All gets the sugars and starches and all the lovely stuff out of the grist, and we then transfer that into the fermenter.
So how long is it in that process for?
In that process, about 6 hours it takes from start to finish. Yep,
So quite fast.
Yep, pretty quick. So by the end of that, we have 2,000 litres get out of that, and that goes into the fermenter with half a tonne of grain. So 500 kilo of grain, 2,000 litres of water, and that's where the process starts.
And then it starts to...
Then it starts to, magic starts to happen. So it goes into fermenter, one of these behind us here, and we put in, some yeast into that, and that's when the magic really starts to happen.
And what's the difference with if using this grain versus the barley versus another one down the road? Like, how does that change the flavour?
The barley has a lot of influence, so it is malted barley we use, and that malted barley, it's a malting process which we don't do here. It's done up at Joe White's malting up at the top end of the state. Yeah, that's where they actually start to sprout the barley, then they cool it again and dry it, so all the enzymes and all the lovely stuff is easier for us to get out when we start our process here.
Yeah.
The team at Western Tiers operate on a 7-day fermentation schedule. What does that mean, you ask? Let Tim explain.
Goes out of the mash tun into fermenter on Monday, and we wait 7 days before we take it into the wash still. Yep. And during that process, our control system keeps track of what temperature it is. We test SG every day, make sure it is on the right track, check pH, make sure it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Yep.
And the big machine will fix that if you say this is wrong.
Yep, we can adjust the temperatures and do all sorts of wonderful things, but the best thing about the control system, everything's consistent. So one batch is the same as the next.
Right.
Yep.
So were you a big whiskey drinker in real life?
Yes.
Previous to
Yeah,
this?
no, previous to this, we did partake in an occasional whiskey or two.
A little tipple?
A little tipple.
Well, you've got to know what you make.
Market research is very important
I
in this
bet.
game.
Absolutely. It's a really good excuse.
It is.
That's what I tell myself too. It's a pretty good gig.
Yes.
And so, and when you were trying to develop the flavour for this whiskey, did you know exactly what you wanted?
Well, again, market research was very in-depth, and it took a long time to actually work out the flavour profile we wanted, how we wanted our whiskey to be, what we wanted to focus on.
Yep.
Yeah, because there is many and very different types of whiskies and spirits out there. So
It's great. All right, tell me more about this process now. What do we do? Where do we move on to?
Yep. So at the minute, you got 3 fermenters there at the minute, which are all full, with 2,000 litres of wash, beer wash. Yep. So from that process, it will go straight to the wash still.
Let's go. Shall we move?
Oh, we shall.
Great. We were talking before about the process being quite unique to your whiskey and also Irish whiskey. This is what we're talking about when we're looking at stills.
Yep, these 3 beautiful copper pot stills.
They are beautiful
is
too.
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. So there is a couple of reasons why we made 3 stills. Yep. So one, the Irish heritage, and the third one, like I said before, we actually make all these stills in this equipment. So we get to make another still and show another one off.
When you talk about making something like this seems like a big endeavour.
It is. Yes.
How do you go about making something like
Yep,
this?
so we've got a workshop only a couple of kilometres from here. We actually, 30 odd people actually,
physically make them.
Physically make them.
What's it made out of?
All copper.
Yep.
So there is a very good reason why they're made out of copper, and that's a chemical reaction that happens with the alcohol vapour and the copper material itself, and actually pulls some volatiles out of the alcohol, out of the vapour, which makes a nice cleaner spirit. So if you actually had a still made of stainless steel or something else, what comes out the other end is nowhere near as good as what this is.
So you really want that copper.
Yeah, copper contact is very big in the distilling process.
So it comes through these after fermentation, it comes into this still?
Yep, so we do something a little bit tricky because we can. So it comes out of a fermenter, it actually goes outside gets into another heat exchanger. So all the heat, all the waste out of these stills, we actually store that overnight outside in an insulated tank. So the next day we actually use that heat to heat up the stuff going to the wash still.
Right.
Yep, so all the energy that's left out there, we actually try and keep that and save and use it again. Because it's clean and green, that's what we're after,
Very
sustainability.
Good. Yep.
And cheaper and easier.
Fantastic. Yep. And was that a development, that was something that was top of mind for you when you were developing
definitely.
this?
Now, when we looked at the whole, this whole thing, we looked at every part of the process and worked out what can we keep, what energy can we use again somewhere else. Because the worst part about distillation, the whole whisky process, it goes from cold to hot to cold to hot to cold to hot. So yeah, we look at the whole process and say, okay, how can we trap this energy and use it again somewhere else?
It's wonderful to see you innovating something that obviously has been made for how long have people been making?
Hundreds of years, yes. Yeah, so again, you always got to put a bit of Tasmanian twist on it. How can we do it better?
Oh, we're good. Tassie people are good at that.
Yeah, yeah. Look at something. Yeah, just put a twist to make it better than what it was.
The heat is coming off this. Obviously, things are happening inside.
Yep.
Can you talk me through the process of what's actually going on inside?
Yep. So
there?
all these things, probably just a big copper kettle. That's all they are. So we put 2,000 litres of the wash from the fermenter in there. We put steam onto it. We heat it up. All the vapour comes up through the swan neck, through the line arm, across to the condenser, and in the condenser we've got some cooling water getting pumped through there continually, so that turns the vapour back into liquid again.
Yep.
And that liquid ends up in the low ones tank, into there.
So it's going up here, down here, and in here.
In here. Yep. And all we're left. So we start here about 8% alcohol, about 2,000 litres, and we'll end up with about 1,400 litres or so of hopefully water left in here, and 500 litres of alcohol in there.
Great.
Yep.
And then from there, where do we go?
From there, we actually then go to the next still, which is over there, and we do the whole thing again.
Fantastic. And that's and so each time it's going through this, it's refining the flavours.
Refining it
And the alcohol.
And the alcohol.
Yeah.
So in here it's about 25% alcohol.
Woof.
The next distillation, the part that goes to the next one, is about 70-odd%.
Yes.
And when we finish out of this Hearts tank here, we're about 82, 83%.
Golly.
Yes.
It's pretty good.
So it's good stuff.
Yeah. What a lovely selection you've got going.
Thank you. We are very proud of what we've produced.
And making it all in-house, as well, like with the products and actually making the manufacturing. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. I've got Tim's favourite dry splash cocktail here, a lovely plate of Tassie produce. I think I'm set. That's it for me at Western Tiers Distillery, but there'll be more cellar door later.